I wanted to interview you because you've gotten pretty good results in the past couple months, and I want everybody else to know it. And I also want you to look back on this video to see like how far you've come. But yeah, can you give me like a self introduction, who you are, what your brand name is, how long you've been doing it, your story, everything like that?
Okay. My name is Jumba.
Mm-hmm.
You know me as Kevin, but Jumba is more of like a social media name.
Yeah.
My clothing brand is Ethereal X World. People who don't know how to spell it, this shit is right there.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that's facing the right way.
Yeah, it is.
I've been doing it for 2 years. I rebranded sometime last year.
Mm-hmm.
Just the name was trash, and I just attracted like people that like wasn't really into like streetwear.
Mm-hmm.
So I just rebranded over to like streetwear niche. My story, I think I've always wanted to kind of just make what people would say like affordable fashion. I grew up like really into fashion, and then just not being able to buy any of like the nice pieces was always like a okay, like in the future I'm gonna make a clothing brand where like people can afford it and
Yeah.
look nice. So yeah, that's like the motto for like my clothing brand is like inspire to inspire. Just being able to inspire someone else, and then they'll be able to inspire someone else, and just domino effect.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It's funny because I think like I don't know if you remember, but in like the earlier days, like probably like a month or two ago, when you pretty much because I think from all the clients, you're one of the first clients to like pretty much sell out his first drop, and I like compared to like everybody else. So I remember like in the calls and shit, I would always say like you hit like I believe 1,000 or 2K or something like that in like a year of you doing it by yourself, and then obviously you hit that like literally the same exact amount in a span of like a month or something. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, explain like the whole timeline of your brand, like when you started, like how it went. Obviously, I do remember you in like my $50 one. I think I talked to you then. But like how was it then versus obviously after you joined the program, and like the difference between then and now.
Yeah, so when I first started, it was like horrible, in the sense of like marketing, not knowing like how to make the Instagram look good,
Yeah.
market with clothing, and all that. So before I joined the program, it was kind of just like you're just kind of winging it.
Mm,
There's a lot of free game on YouTube, but there's not enough like genuine game. I feel like everybody can do front page stuff, but like all the back end and just all the actual information,
yeah.
that's what like we needed and I needed. So when I first started, my last drop in October, last October, I made like fucking maybe like $300,
Yeah.
$400. And then I joined the program in like February, March when you
Mm,
did the whole accelerated thing. And then I dropped for June, and I dropped at 12 a.m. I know a lot of people they tend to drop like 10 a.m. But I dropped at midnight because I wanted people to like stay up and wait for my shit and
mm,
just I didn't want to be like a 12 p.m. drop. So
yeah.
I dropped at 12 a.m. and I ended up falling asleep, and I woke up and like I had four sizes sold out, and yeah, so it's crazy. But being part of this program has been pretty dope because I feel like I can like conversate with you and like other people who are in the same mindset rather than like looking for a YouTube video that might have most of the answers but it doesn't have that one piece that you're looking for,
Yeah.
and it's kind of hard to find. So just being able to like conversate and like reach out, and actually getting a specific answers,
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
being yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know you dropped at 12 a.m. That's actually pretty impressive because that's like a bro. That's like a bold move. You know what I'm trying to say? Like I wouldn't even do that with my brand, because that's like I mean I'm not saying that you're gonna get less sales, but it's just like it's very bold, especially for a first technically a first drop. Um, so obviously you pretty much sold out your first drop, and like I feel like a lot of people like obviously when they first start a brand they don't sell out their first drop. So what do you and obviously in the past you didn't sell out your first drop, right? So what do you think you did differently, like compared to like when you first sold out versus like in the past when you got like I don't know $200 in sales and didn't sell out?
I think what I did differently this time around when I did sell out was being open to like guidance. I
Yeah.
felt like back then I was kind of just like winging it. Whatever looked good to me, and I
Mm.
never like took it into a perspective of like what looks good to other people. So I just kind of like trusted in myself, and I had to like get out of that like mindset where it's like it's not about like what I like.
Yeah.
So just being able to market it towards a specific set of people rather
Mm.
than market it towards something that I would like. Did that, and then just being able to like gather as much information as I can for like setting up the website and just making it look way like 10 times fucking better. I mean,
Mm.
dude, if you saw my I I have a clip in one of your school videos and you're
Yeah.
just fucking roasting my shit. So
Yeah. I
if you
remember.
compare yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I
So
think like definitely if you compare yourself to like back in the school days where it was like $50 a month that program, versus now, I feel like definitely you've changed a lot. And if you want me to be honest with you, I'm just not just you, but I feel like everybody that makes those type of websites or their brand is like that bad, they usually just like from my experience, they usually just quit. You feel me? Or they fail. And I was honestly surprised because obviously before we joined the program, you hopped on a call with me to like go over everything. And I was surprised that you were even interested because I was like, bro, like I remember critiquing your website and shit. And I don't know if you like at that time I didn't know if you fixed it or not, but like it was so bad and I think I roasted you so bad to the point where you were like laughing and shit, you know what I'm trying to say? And like I think it's like obviously like the critique is good, right? It's not like I'm just like talking shit, but I feel like most people they take it too hard, like too personally, and they just like say like fuck it, I'm not doing this shit no more. um but yeah, I mean, obviously you obviously took it as criticism and you bounced back. But okay, so like go like more in detail. Like, what did you do exactly that was different? Because I feel like I did a couple of these, and people in the comments were asking like, I want exactly what he did. Like, I want to know what he did. That made him sell out versus obviously in the past you didn't. So obviously I helped you out. You had more guidance. But like specifically, maybe it's like marketing, maybe it's website, maybe it's product. Can you go like more in detail on what you did differently for you to sell out versus obviously in the past?
What I did differently this time around was I made it more personable.
Mm.
Recently, well, not recently, but my previous drop back then when I was like pretty unsuccessful, I was too like fucking professional, you know? Like I was treating the shit like if I was like Nike or some shit where
Yeah.
I stay away from like fucking comments and I don't text, I don't do any stories, nothing like
Mm.
that. And that was just the stupidest thing because it's like I wasn't even big. And I wouldn't even consider myself like even big now, but like I just made it more personable.
Mm.
Try to make it more like a lifestyle to be part of the clothing brand rather than buy my shit and I move on, you know. Like I was thinking of it too much like professional and tried making it too much like just front page. But
Mm.
this time around for my drop, I tried making it more personable. It was my first time ever revealing like my face on my clothing brand this time around too. So I just think people being like able to see the face of the brand and just being able to see like some sort of face for the brand. I feel like it made a big difference to this drop versus the
Mm.
last drop because it made it more trust, more trust, more
Yeah.
loyalty.
I mean,
Yeah, it's a lot of
speak about like you showing your face and shit because I know like I don't know how it is for you. I don't know if you told your friends, your family, anything like that, but has that affected obviously number one, has that affected your brand growth? Number two, like has that affected your personal life? Because I'm sure like your friends or shit like that, they all know by now.
Yeah, so I live in a small town. Like I live in California, Central Valley. So
Mm.
if anybody's from Central Valley, they know that Central Valley is like genuinely like tiny.
Mm.
Everybody just kind of knows everybody. So when I first ever did like a fucking face reveal, basically,
Yeah.
I I still get it now, but sometimes I'd walk in public and a lot of people don't even know my name. They know me by Ethereal, so they call me by
Oh.
my brand name
Oh
and
shit.
yeah, so they don't
Yeah.
even say my name. They just like, oh, like, hey, you're that ethereal guy,
Uh
Like,
huh.
just yeah, it's weird, but I get it because it's a small city, so it's
Yeah.
understandable because a lot of people like shared it. But my friends, in a sense, they already kind of already knew, so they actually helped me in like reposting it and just like resharing it, and then
Mm,
I just built a lot of like personal traction because it wasn't just people like outside my city who were buying my stuff anymore. It was more so like, oh, this kid is from, so and so,
yeah.
so that's what kind of built like a lot of momentum for me too, because it was personable like in real life and like online.
Damn, that's crazy. You had like people recognize you?
Yeah,
That's
dude, I went to
wild.
like a grocery store
Uh-huh.
and the butcher, like the guy behind the like meat section was
Yeah.
like, "Yo, like you're that Ethereal guy." And I was like, "Oh shit." Yeah.
What the
And it's
fuck?
kind of weird because I'm not used to it, so I don't know what to say. Yeah.
Yeah, wait, what?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, how many like followers do you have on your Instagram for that
On
account?
my clothing my Instagram, I
Yeah.
have like 4,700,
Oh,
forty-six
okay.
hundred.
I mean, that's not bad. Um, Damn, that's crazy. I don't think like I've ever had. Okay, number one, nobody has recognized me for my brand, but I think the only time I got recognized for my personal brand was like after I hit like I don't know like 50K on TikTok or some shit. So, I mean that must be
Yeah.
a small ass town, bro. Holy fuck.
Yeah, it's a small town, bro. So like it just takes really like one repost
Uh,
and the right person just might see it and yeah. So
Yeah, for sure. So I guess like one thing I remember talking to you like a long time ago. So like this is right before you joined the program. Is I think you were definitely very skeptical. I don't know if you've joined a mentorship or a course or anything like that in the past before, but I remember you being very skeptical, and I was just telling you like, bro, like you're gonna make it if you do everything I tell you to do. And what was your like mindset then versus now? Like obviously now you joined the program, it's way different now, but like um, what do you think your mindset was like back then when you didn't have guidance or information and obviously results because you didn't get that many sales versus now where you sold out your first drop, you pretty much know what to do, you have all the information, and I think you're on the right path. Really, and you're probably gonna hit like six figures pretty quickly. Like, what do you think is like the main difference in mindsets?
I think it comes down to like stability,
Mm-hmm.
there's always a opportunity to get the answer you're looking for, If
Yeah.
you're struggling with something, even if you personally don't like get to us in time, someone else gets to us, someone else who already had resolved the issue. And that's why like it's a stability thing. It comes down to just being able to have access to knowledge at any time you want, rather than sitting in your room at fucking 2 a.m. Looking up YouTube videos that won't even pop up,
Yeah.
something that's ran into or recorded, So definitely like knowledge is a game of knowledge, and just being able to have access to that is,
Mm.
yeah, big change.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would say like definitely like we have the community, you have me, and I think like when I talked to you like long time ago, you were definitely very like skeptical because you've never joined like a mentorship or anything like that before in the past, right?
Yeah, I haven't. I don't know if you remember, but when I first joined the community with you, I texted you the next day, and I was like, "Yo, like, never mind. Like,
Uh huh.
I'm done. Like, I can't." But then, like, I text you again, like 2 hours later. I was like, "Nah, like, fuck that. Like, I'm not a bitch. Like,
Yeah.
I think,
I think I
bro, just
remember
being
that.
scared.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think
just
I
being
told you
scared
like, bro,
fucking
like
killed
you're
me off.
chilling, you're gonna get sales as long as you do everything like I tell you to do. Um,
Yeah.
and I think like in general, like a lot of the people that join the program, like it's a pretty big commitment, obviously, money wise, time wise, energy wise. So I think like as long as you put the work in, you're gonna get the results, no matter like who you are. But yeah, so I guess like you sold out your first drop. Like, what are you doing right now for your brand, and what are you like planning to do in the future? Because obviously you don't have any inventory. You sold out your first drop. Like, are you gonna restock that original product? Are you dropping a new collection? Like, what are you doing now?
So I'm actually dropping a new collection. So my bulk order for my fall/winter
Mm,
collection is actually in production.
mm,
I'm probably not gonna restock the shirts, just because I just want to move on to like winter and
yeah.
then just do that instead. I'm actually wearing one of
Oh
the,
shit.
the
Yeah, I
prime
remember
drop.
seeing that shit. Yeah, that shit's
So
fire.
yeah, so I got a hoodie and I got a thermal coming. So should
Mm,
be here like today's September, so probably like late September, early October, and then
okay.
be able to drop.
What's your goal right now when it comes to your brand? What could be revenue? It could be just in general. Like what's like the next goal for you? Because obviously, I'm pretty sure your goal was to sell out your first drop, which you already did that. So, like, what's the next big thing that you want to do?
I want to hit 10, not 10 figures. That's fucking crazy. Like 10K plus, like
Uh-huh.
5 figures. Just cause like I just want to see like that milestone, you know.
Yeah.
A lot of people say like going 0 to 1,000 is
Mm-hmm.
like tough, but I think 0 to 10K is more of a milestone in my
Yeah, for
opinion. That's
sure.
something I'm
I
shooting
mean, I
for.
would say like 10K is like that. It's like that. Once you hit it, bro, you think you're like the richest man in the whole entire world. You feel me? And
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, as long as you have the inventory, I promise you, like, you can probably hit minimum 10K, especially like next upcoming months. But, okay, like, are you doing everything at your own house, or like, do you have a warehouse or what?
No, I do everything in my room.
Uh,
So, like, right behind me, I have a table with like all my polymer rags,
yeah.
my label printer, and like all my inventory in the corner.
Uh-huh. Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't know if you had like a fucking basement or some shit. But
yeah.
okay, I guess another question I want to ask you is, um, you did okay, like what made you not quit for that year of you doing your brand? Because I remember you told me like you pretty much did your brand for like a year by yourself, right? And I don't know, like you hit like $1,000 in sales or something like that. Most people quit. You know what I'm trying to say? Because a year is crazy. So what made you not quit during that time period? Because I think like I genuinely like for me personally, like I understand the mindset, but I don't think a lot of people understand like how hard it is to do something for a year straight and get like no results, right? Like $1,000. So, what do you think was the main thing that made you not quit? And did you know that you were gonna make it eventually?
Honestly, I'm like a big sore loser when it
Mm-hmm.
comes to like sports and all that. Not sore loser like injure you type shit, but
Yeah.
like I just don't like losing. So the way I saw it was like if I quit, then I lose, you
Yeah.
know. If I quit, I'll never, step back into it. You know, it's like quitting McDonald's.
Yeah.
You know, like you're not gonna go back once you quit McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
You'll move on to bigger and better things.
Yeah.
So I just like I was just attached, bro. Like I knew that if I quit, I would never step back into like the clothing in
Mm-hmm.
industry. Um so I technically couldn't lose if I never quit. So I just kind of held on and I don't know, I just knew that like my work ethic could make up for like what I don't have,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't have knowledge and I didn't have like all the resources, but I knew that the one thing I did have was like just hella work ethic. So I just held on and just hope for the best, to be honest.
Yeah, for sure. And what do you think is one skill trait that or skill set that you've developed, or maybe this is something that you think you're really good at compared to the average clothing brand owner? And when I say average, I'm talking about like I don't know, like just like somebody like in my 20 set, like I don't know, like some like random ass clothing brand owner that has no results. They have like no sales. What do you think is the differentiator between you versus somebody that's like getting zero sales and that's first starting out? Like, what's your competitive advantage?
I think I think a lot of people value sleep,
Mm-hmm.
and the thing for me is I don't really get much sleep. Like I work 12-hour shifts. I go to full-time school on campus,
Yeah.
and I still have time to come home, do my homework, hit the gym, and do my clothing brand stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I just if you try to smush all of that into a day, it's like I sleep like maybe 4 or 5 hours. And
Damn.
I think that makes a big fucking difference. You know, like some people they can sleep 9, 10 fucking hours, but they wake up the next day wondering why someone like me is succeeding overnight,
Yeah.
I think sleep is temporary, bro. Like I feel like right now, me not sleeping is only a temporary problem.
Yeah.
And in the future, yeah. So I just think I gotta do it while I'm young, because once I'm old, I can't do this shit, bro.
Yeah,
I
for
can't stay
sure.
up fucking
Wait,
forever, you know.
are you like chugging energy drinks or what? How are you even like?
Nah,
How?
bro. It's just pure will, bro.
Oh, for real?
Just
That's
fucking yeah,
crazy, bruh. I mean, I'm gonna
yeah.
be honest. Like, I get it. I think like at that stage in your business, especially when you're starting to get results, bro, you don't even want to sleep. You feel me? You just like so pumped up, and obviously you have like other shit to do. Like you gotta go to school, you have work and shit like that. Um, when do you think you're gonna quit that job? Like what like I guess goal do you need to hit for you to quit your I guess whatever job you have right now to go full time on clothing?
I think once again, like once I hit that 10K,
Mm-hmm.
it'll kind of like this is probably something that not a lot of people talk about. But I'm sure everybody has a reality talk, you know?
Yeah.
Like obviously everybody wants to be a clothing brand. Right now, that shit is inflated like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, But realistically, I'm sure everyone's asked himself if this is something that they're gonna go through with, you know,
Yeah.
if this is something that they'll commit to, you know. But I think if I hit that 10K, which I'm thinking that I will, it'll kind of just show me that like now it's time to like take it on like fully, while the momentum is still there and try to
Mm.
capitalize on that. So I think once I start to make like more than what I make in my job per month, yeah, I can definitely quit the job and just fully commit to the clothing brand.
Okay. I mean, is that something that you want to do? Like, are you okay with doing both clothing and your job? Because obviously, I feel like you're a pretty hard worker in general, so you can probably manage because you've been managing. Or like, are like for example, like I know like for if you hit like 10K per month, right, for your from your clothing brand, realistically speaking, I think money wise, you should be able to quit your other job and still like manage. But are you the type to like, do you want to work your job as long as possible, save up as much money as possible, and then quit it once you're making like 20, 30K or something? Or would you say like you just fucking hate this job and you just want to get to clothing right away as soon as possible?
I liked testing the waters.
Mm.
So I feel like I'm very adaptable. So I've always worked full time. So like just being able to adjust to that like with my clothing brand and like my homework in the gym and all that. So once I start making it, in the sense of like success for my clothing brand,
Yeah.
I think I just test the waters and see if I can still fit my work and my clothing brand and
Mm.
not lose any momentum, lose any days. But if I still want to keep my job, which I probably will, just because I feel like it's kind of weird for me to like quit the job because I feel like I haven't like taken in that like reality yet where
Yeah.
like I won't have to work.
Mm.
So I think leaving a job would be weird. But I'd probably test it out first, see if I can handle it. If not, maybe I'll like hire someone to do it behind the scenes,
Yeah.
like the shipping and all that. But if I want to take it on fully myself, then I would just quit my job. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I would say like I think for you, you just have more willpower than me because like when I had a job, I after a shift or some shit, I would come back home. I don't know what your job is, but like I was like a cashier or some shit like that. So after I come home, I didn't want to do any work because I was fucking tired. You feel me? And I think that's how it usually is. Um, Obviously like there's workarounds around it, but like I guess the way I look at it is if you spent the same exact time you put into your like job into your clothing brand, like imagine how much you're gonna grow. You feel me? And however, I do think like the like you not quitting is honestly a pretty good thing because you don't know when you're going to go up. You know what I'm trying to say? I personally think you're gonna hit 10K per month like in the next upcoming months, and you're gonna consistently do that as long as you have like the inventory and you make sure you keep running ads, keep dropping new products. But obviously, you do need capital to fund that. You know what I'm trying to say? So I think like that's the main issue, that a lot of clothing brand owners that start off with like pretty much no money. I remember in the call like a long time ago, like you were talking about your financial situation, like how like it's obviously a very big risk for you. You feel me? And I guess I was just curious, like obviously financially, I'm sure you're making more now versus then, but like what made you commit to this even though financially you obviously had a hard time? Like it's pretty risky, and I think like it's pretty bold, like I said earlier. Same thing with the 2 a.m. or 12 a.m. shit. It's like a pretty bold decision. Like what made you make that decision? Or is that like the type of person you are just to begin with?
Yeah, I think I've always just kind of been like a wing it kind of guy.
Mm.
Like I know a lot of people they like to like plan shit and like have shit, but I just feel like if you wing it, there's less disappointment and
Yeah.
less fucking suffering because you're just kind of winging it
Yeah.
rather than someone who like plans their entire life out and when they don't hit that certain number at a certain point in their time, like they just like fucking break down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm not like that at all. I just kind of wing it and I don't know. I think to me, I just kind of invest in myself. Like fuck it. Like if I don't do it, that's my fault, and it's
Yeah.
purely my fault. You know. So I throw myself into. You know, you ever hear that fucking that one saying where, if you want to make more money, buy a car you can afford, and
Yeah.
it'll force you to make more money.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah. So that's kind of like my mentality. Where like if I can't fucking do it, I'll find a way to do it.
Yeah.
Regardless of what it is. So
And
yeah.
do you think that's your competitive advantage? Because I think like some people, like for example, I'll give an example. Like recently, I'm trying to find like a POS system to do like to take orders for like in person. If I do like a in person event, and I was just going through like I was just gonna use a Shopify one, but now I'm just like, okay, there's Square, there's a bunch of different options. Now I'm watching YouTube videos. Now 2 hours has passed. Now I'm asking ChatGPT which one is the best, and now I'm comparing prices. But if I just bought the fucking Shopify one, which was like $1,000, which was pretty expensive, but it's like through Shopify, I would have saved all that trouble, all that headache. Even if it turned like, even if it's not that good, at least I would have got it like in my hands and I can just test for myself. And I think like that's the biggest thing is like sometimes you just have to like just make a fucking decision without thinking and analyzing everything. And I think nowadays, because there's so much information on the internet for clothing brands, every brand owner literally just writes like does every single little step, like calculated step, without like I don't know, just like doing it like fast. They try to look at every single option, and they try to make the best decision, but they end up not making it, or it takes a very long time until they do make it. So do you think that's something that you do that's definitely a competitive advantage? And is that something that you do for your business? And if it is, do you have any examples?
Yeah, so I think it is something that I just do.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm my worst enemy.
Yeah.
So like if I think too much, I start to fuck myself over.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think the best thing I could do is just go based off of like I guess like intuition, whatever I'm feeling right then and there,
Yeah.
rather than like trying to rethink it. There's pros and cons, obviously, but for example, my last drop, I wasn't supposed to do either of the shirts,
Mm-hmm.
but I was just kind of fucking around with like designing and all that,
Yeah.
and I just decided to fucking mash like iconic like Japanese culture like it together. And
Mm-hmm.
then that same night, I ordered the sample. I didn't even look it over. I didn't even fucking I didn't even like, I don't know. I didn't sit back and let it sit, you know.
Yeah.
I just thought it looked good. And then that's like the next day I ended up sending it to you, and you actually told me like it looks good too, but I had already put in the sample order. So
Oh, okay.
like I was just kind of like trusting in that like fuck it, like I'm not doing anything anyways, you know.
Mm. Yeah. And then
So
that's the product that you eventually sold, right?
yeah, that's my winning piece right there.
Damn, that's crazy, bro. I didn't know that you ordered the sample beforehand. Like I said, bro, I think obviously everything there's pros and cons, but I actually think it's a pretty good thing that you have because everybody's the opposite, right? So like everybody takes so long to make a decision. Obviously, like for example, we have clients in our program that's joined the same exact time as you, and they don't even have a sample yet because they just want to make the best design. And I feel like, yeah, I get it, but like at the same time, you have to make a decision at a certain point. You have to drop something. I think like recently, in the calls, I've been telling everybody like you need to drop something, bro. Like regardless of whether the design is the best or it's like mid or whatever the case may be, you need to drop something because you're not getting any sales if you have nothing on your website. But yeah, bro, sounds good. Before we end, I always ask my clients this: three pieces of advice to anybody that's trying to start a clothing brand right now. I guess from your perspective, and what you would, I guess you can say what you would tell your younger self. I guess. So pieces of advice for clothing brand owners that are first starting out.
Number one, being scared is
Mm-hmm.
normal. It's good to be scared because that means that you're fucking, you know, like you're in survival mode.
Yeah.
Number two, not everybody has money. There are people who have money, but try not to like invest in yourself into someone who claims to have the same scenario as you, but they have a fuck ton more than you.
Mm-hmm.
Just understand that like what you have is what you have, and work with what you have, and not, like get fucking brainwashed by other people who
Yeah.
have more than what. And number three, find knowledge, bro. I mean, I think knowledge is like the game to everything, whether it's a clothing brand or, you know, anything else. Obviously, like there's someone out there who's already done it before. Uh, find that, and that'd be fucking big because then you'd be less wasting your time and more actually like investing in yourself and your
Yeah, for
business.
sure. I mean, I think like you can definitely find good information online, but I think it's like the same thing you said earlier. It's just like you have to find the video. What's the chances you actually find a good video? What's the chances that the video or what the person is saying is actually useful and it's not some BS? And now you have to do it. It all comes down to like all the options you have, and now you have to choose between every single video, which one is the best strategy. Um, and I think I always say this. I think I told you this. I tell all of my clients this. Like, if you guys just like block everything out, like all the other online resources, you just listen to what I tell you to do, like you're gonna be fine. And I think you're definitely one of the clients that has succeeded because of that. Because you've like like within the first couple months, you pretty much sold out your first drop. And yeah, I'm definitely excited to see where you go for the next couple months. Are you like is the next two products the only thing you have on right now, or are you also like planning for future drops as well on top of
I'm
that?
also planning. I'm planning like upcoming drops too, because right now I know that like one of the biggest goals for me is to be able to drop one product per month.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I have, I think, like two designs that I'm still currently working on
Mm-hmm.
to see if I can hopefully fit those two designs into the next month right after I drop the thermal and the zip up in case they do really well, you
Yeah.
know, just so I have that momentum and I keep, capitalizing on that momentum rather than just sitting on the two pieces and restocking those. I can try to push out exposure for the brand.
Yeah, for sure, bro. I mean, I think like definitely Q4 like you're just gonna get more sales regardless of whatever strategy you do, but I think it's a pretty good opportunity to get as many customers to buy from your brand as possible and to show that you have good quality, you have good fast shipping times, you have good price, you know what I'm trying to say, and shit like that. So I would definitely say not just you, but I always tell my clients that you should, try to maximize the amount of sales that you can get during Q4. I would honestly say like you're better off like whatever sample you're working on right now. I'm sure it's pretty good because I feel like now you have a pretty good creative eye taste. So I would actually order if you're done with the samples and shit like that. I would order the samples right away if you think it's good enough because by the time it arrives, you can order the bulk order and you can drop it like November or December, which is obviously like peak Q4 time period. But yeah, bro, thanks for hopping on a call with me. I'll probably do one of these again in like I don't know, like 2 3 months. Like whenever you hit 10K, I'll probably hit you up back again.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, for sure. And then obviously, we can do one like every single time you hit a goal and shit like that. And I think it's really good for both of us. Like everybody can see your growth and see that you've
Yeah,
actually started from nothing, literally like a
yeah,
hundred bucks. And I don't know, like I'm sure like some people that watch the second channel, they've watched like my school videos, but
yeah,
you literally there's literally clips of you in my Zoom meetings, like
yeah,
fucking 5 6 months ago when I did the school shit, right? So you're pretty much documenting your whole entire journey. And are you starting a personal brand too or not?
yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
am.
for sure. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's something.
obviously, you're gonna document your journey through there, but I think this is pretty good for you as well. And yeah, I'm definitely excited for you, bro. If you need anything else, just let me know. And yeah, thanks for hopping on the call with me today, buddy.